Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on this glorious Saturday night as we are here to celebrate the very end of Winter League Season 3. Obviously, it's not the way that we have wanted to celebrate it, but we're going to do our best by bringing you a live stream and getting through the whole show, officially announcing the winners, the award winners, and there's even a highlight reel at the end. So if you think that you did well, then you can make sure you stick around for that. Of course, I'm joined by the architect of Carnegie Flag Football Winter League, Mr. Tree Anderson, who is to my left or right, depending on what this looks like.
I think I'm on your left.
You're on my left. You're over there.
Yep, that's me. Yep.
Cool. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Yeah. Been testing this afternoon, got all the graphics ready, so it should be plain sailing, Bez.
Good, because we've never had an issue with a live stream before. Never.
And this is the first time I've done a live stream with like graphics and videos and chats and everything. So this will be interesting.
This can only go well.
Oh well, I've already seen John Guthrie going, yeah, just can't see Greg. I'm like, John, don't worry.
Don't worry, because
it's happening.
Greg is a very important member of our team, and of course, he is a decorated flag football player. He is the reigning Aberdeen Oilcats Offensive Player of the Year. He is the Moscow Flag Football Open touchdown leader, the Moscow Flag Football Open tournament MVP, the two-time Oilcats charity fundraiser of the year. He's a Winter League All-Star, and he's an incredibly handsome man. It's Mr. Greg Sim.
Hey guys.
Hello.
my Tree's
here's our technical issue.
Lovely, but as you can see, I blend in. I have no arms.
It's amazing that
can't catch touchdowns without arms.
Well, it's amazing that you do with no arms.
Well, yeah, I know it's hands but no arms. Yeah, it's a feat. What can I say? How we both doing?
We're doing well. We are doing well, and we are up and running. So if I could remember Tree's agenda, I would be that we are about to just go straight on with it and get on to the final placings of the Winter League.
Yeah, so we'll go through the top three. They were very kind enough to send us videos. So for those that haven't heard, obviously Winter League concluded after week 4, so there'll be no playoffs, unfortunately. So basically we spoke with all the teams and they look, we're going to be put off to like June, July, maybe August, and there's no point like prolonging it for that long. So we just called it at the end of week 4. So we'll start off with in third place, which ended up as being the Renfrewshire Raptors. So well done to those guys. Woo-hoo.
Congratulations, Renfrewshire.
Yep, so we could probably go across to a little video from Mr. Mark Richards himself. So thank you very much. This is a little bit of Raptor Vision as well, so a little teaser here for everybody.
It's been a while since Raptor Vision.
Yeah, let's see if their quality is up to scratch. This is Mark Richards. I'll try to hand over to him.
Are we on? It's good? Ready? No? Yes? Okay.
So obviously Mark Richards can't use video properly. So yeah.
It's a struggle.
He didn't. He was like, "Are we live? Are we there? No. This is not pre-recorded. This is live, but you're pre-recorded."
Yes. I appreciate the effort though.
It was a good effort. So he sent us another one. Actually genuine. So we'll go for that one instead.
Go with that.
Yeah. Here's Mark again.
Thanks, Stuart, and thank you to Carnegie for hosting Winter League this year. Unfortunately, it didn't go and end the way everybody had hoped, but it's been brilliant taking part this year. We've really enjoyed it. The atmosphere's been brilliant, the banter's been brilliant, and a big shout out to my guys who have done very well. I've really pushed as hard as they can and learned a lot and took a lot away from Winter League. So thank you very much, guys, and stay safe, everybody.
There we go. Raptors finishing third.
Raptors finishing third. Greg, you might remember better than me, although I doubt it. We did predictions for the league standings way back.
It's a good while back.
I don't think we had. I can't remember. I don't think we had the Raptors in third.
I can't imagine we would have. I think pre-season we probably would have had Carnegie there.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I think the Raptors have done incredibly well. Highest ranked BAFA Div 1 team coming in third, beating some Premier League teams and ex-Premier League teams. They've done really well.
I mean, they obviously set themselves out with a target of 10 wins, which I believe they surpassed. They also they kind of set out their stall early. You know, week one, I think it was game one, they beat Edinburgh by a point. So that was a team that came down, someone who we'd mentioned beforehand that we were probably going to compare them to because we thought they were of a similar standard. And to go out straight away, go and beat them, set them up perfectly for the rest of the Winter League season. And to be honest with you, they'd be pretty comfortable in the Premier League in terms of who they're up against. They'd certainly be competitive, and they're definitely going to be a team to watch this coming season, if we get a season.
Looking at the standings, definitely. Like, you look at their offensive scoring, 287 points for. That's third in the league. I think the only thing looking at it was defensively. They conceded about 15 points less than the Killer Bees, and about 50 points more than the West Lothian Chargers. So we could probably pick up anything at all.
They kind of need to win a track meet then.
So definitely, I'm hats off to the Raptors. Like, I'd not expect them to get third, but they have come a long way from where, we remember where we used to play them with the Spartans. So massively impressive. So
yeah, absolutely good for them.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Hey, good for you guys.
So we'll move on to second place now, guys. It's all about the Rexies.
It's all about the runners, and we did run.
So thanks to our esteemed colleague, Mr. Greg Sim, he was actually able to provide us with a video, which we will play now. And for those watching, there will be a little bit of a surprise in this one, which we'll talk about afterwards also. Helps if we press the play button, right? Rexy.
Okay. Well, I've just received our second place prize. I would like to say thank you very much to everyone at Carnegie, and especially Tree for putting on what's been probably the premier event of the year. Can't say I'm disappointed with second. Well done to Top Gun. You guys were the class of the season, so congratulations to you. I'm going to go and put this next to the Jurassic Cup, where we can look at this and just look back on how we not only did well in the league, but also dominated the team just below us. So have a great off-season, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Well, Bez, actually, I've duped you a little bit.
Oh, really?
He didn't ask for a message about second place. What he's asked for is a reaction to congratulations, buddy. Happy MVP day.
Oh, wow.
Bez Berry, Winter League 3 MVP.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Some flags and a lovely shirt just for you.
Okay. I'll pop them in there while I compose myself.
While you take a minute just to take in what you've achieved.
Well.
And all the money that's going to charity as a
yes,
result.
Well, thank you everyone. Yeah, on that, thank you everyone who has voted for me. It's massively appreciated. I'll have to get a frame now. And thank you, Nuola, My Flag Football, photography by Steve Smith, and Stanshire Photography for being sponsors. No, that's great. Thank you very much.
And thank you to being good at football.
Yes. Thank you to my teammates for letting me get wide open every time.
Trees.
There we go. Back. So that's the news. Rexy's Midnight Runners are second, and also congratulations, Besley Berry.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I was.
A fine shirt you're wearing now.
Yes. Thank you, Tree.
I wouldn't thank me. We've got to thank Mr. Nuola.
Mr. Noah, yes.
For providing
so,
us with our MVP jersey.
Thank you, Rudy. That's appreciated. Add it to my collection of Nuola kit. No, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a nice surprise. So thank you to all the refereeing crews who voted. And I think I'll get my runner colleagues to sign it and pop this in a frame, I reckon.
Oh,
we're going to have to get a new graphic up there as well, because Bez's looks pretty bare.
I never thought about that. I could have had it ready. Damn it.
He was so busy building yours, Greg, that
We'll maybe put the highlights on first to let everyone see, and in the meantime with the highlights I'll create one for the end. So we do something like that.
No pressure.
So what do we want to talk about first, boys? Rexy, or do we want to talk about MVP race first? Because the MVP race was hot.
Give us a look.
Let's do that, given that I've got the shirt on, and then I can take it off and we can talk about our team.
Perfect. So what we'll talk about MVP is it basically went down to the very last game, which was Rexy versus Carnegie. Was that right?
Yeah.
It was.
Yep. So tied in voting was.
How did that go, Steve?
How did that go? So we had Callum Woods with 5 MVP votes. We had Paul Johnston on 5 MVP votes, and we had Besley Berry on 5 MVP votes going into the very last set of games. So yeah, quite intense, and I was kind of watching with a keen eye to what was actually going to happen. So well done, Bez, and scoring.
Do you want to explain how that game unfolded, Bez?
Yes, they don't ask
We
me.
scored so many points.
No. Rexy's did not score many points. You scored.
Well, I
many
did.
Points.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, because I kind of wandered off after a drive, and I think it was Casper. Was it Casper was refereeing?
Mm-hmm.
Casper was refereeing, and they sat down. And
Anyway.
Greg or Nicky was just like, like, how we doing? Like he said, like, how much money are you down today for Anthony Nolan? And I was like, oh, well, I think I've got 2 in this game. And Casper just like shook his head and went, oh. That was a 20 quid game, that was.
Well, you've paid for the jersey, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Basically covered it.
We've got a few comments as well, boys.
Pardon?
I've got a few comments as well. I've got Nick Gordon with Fix. Well, just have to join it and host the show, Nick. If it's a Fix, come on, hosts.
You know that if I was going to fix it, I would make it less obvious. Right, come on.
Michael Scott, nice jersey. That was a nice jersey.
Nice jersey.
I don't know who he's referring to there, whether that's
anyone.
We all even I wore a shirt, Greg.
I know. Finally, we got you in a shirt for a review.
I had to wear the works one. So well done, Bez. Well done, Bez.
Thank you.
Also, congratulations really to Paul Johnston. He was one of our All-Star selections, and with the MVP votes, totally deserving. Dude was unreal. Again, coming down to Callum Woods as well. Wasn't there in the last game day. Could he have had or played a part in that last game day? And he's the reason, Bez, why I had to order a large. He's a big boy. Those shoulders, I don't know if they'd fit in a small.
The strongest man I know.
So definitely, I had to get a jersey that would fit Paul, Callum, and Bez. And I was like, large?
Right, go for it.
Because that's how it came down to. And Rudy's like, oh, Stuart, have you got a size? Who is it? I'm like, don't know. Don't know.
So what you're saying is I need to hit the gym. It's basically how this
you need to bulk up a bit. That'll slow you down a bit, and that'll help me. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really slowed Callum down.
A lot. Perfect. So the other kind of votes that we have, we'll go through this. I just printed off the 10. There's a lot more guys had singular votes and stuff. If they want to know who they are, reach out in the chat and I'll have a look at the stat sheet and I'll see if your players got any. But we had Bez on 6, Paul and Callum on 5, Jules had 4, I think Iceman Kev Woods, he had 3, and then we had our very own Greg Sim on 3 as well. Well done, Greg.
Ooh.
3 MVP votes.
Get that added to his background.
I get it in. And then we had Brandon Lamb. He got 3. Liam Clutterbuck from the Outlaws, 3. We spoke really highly of him. He played really well. Got that win against Top Guns. It was as well.
It was.
Played well. And then we have Goose for the Top Guns.
Goose.
I
Who's
can't
that?
remember. I wish there was a
Bud?
Top Gun in the chat to help us. Leon,
Yeah.
maybe?
No, Bud's Mr. President. Liam, maybe? I
Leon
don't know.
Fleming, maybe? Because he had a few
I'm
picks.
sure it'll be in the comments in a minute.
I'm sure they'll pop it up. So Goose got 2.
Could it have been Kev?
And then Kev's Iceman.
Ah, okay.
And then our last but not least, in 10th,
You
Scott
guys came
McDonald.
first. It was Matty.
Oh, Matty. Good job, Matty. And then, yes, Scott McDonald had 2 votes for MVP as well. So there's a lot more. I wish I actually checked. So, sorry, Pez. Let's have a little look, actually. So I want to tell you how many players actually got MVP votes. There was quite a few, actually.
I bet.
And it's just like guys with singular games. A lot of people were quite surprised they got votes, but it depends who the referees were and stuff. Like if you had a good game and you stood out and you had a good play, it's very varied, and it's down to the referees. Oh, there we go. So we had, scroll all the way down. We had 51 individual MVP winners.
Amazing. That's
Unbelievable. I think it goes all the way down to 21st with 2. So there was quite a lot of players. Top like Scott at 10th, but all the way down to 21 players had 2 votes for MVP.
Oh, so Scott came like 21st, really? That's what I'm saying.
So guys with 2 MVP votes were like James Hughes, Jamie Bennett, Lee Fraser, Scooter McKenzie, Ben Wilson, Nick Gordon, because he's in the chat. Fraser Thompson. For one of the games you guys were talking about, his defensive tackling prowess.
Oh, he won. We shouted at the referees. We were having I can't remember who was refereeing, but we properly got after the referees.
I think it was the Raptors.
If they didn't vote for him, we were going to be raging.
I think. Nick Gordon's named them all. I'm not naming them. There's 52 names. I've seen Andy Brown's in the chat as well. He got a couple. So a fair amount of people got MVP votes. So it was very varied this year. I didn't see to win with 6 MVP votes at a potential. How many games? 18? 18 games. 9 and 9. 18. So 6 out of 18. Yeah.
18. Yeah.
That's pretty good going. So do you want to yap about how awesome Rexys were this year and your kind of shift team?
I had so much fun, despite the fact that I don't think we had the same lineup ever.
No.
I had so much fun. It was the first time that I got to play competitively with Nicky.
That's good. That's going to be my first comment, was how influential was he on your team? When we see the highlights later, it evidently shows why he's a Rexy. It's unreal.
Football with Nicky on your team is way easier than football with Nicky on the other team.
That is very accurate. Cannot argue with that whatsoever.
And also Richie came and joined us. It's the first time I got to play with Fraser as well for that last game day. It was awesome. And then there's kind of the usual suspects. Shout out to Callum Young for missing a game day by not actually knowing it was on.
Oh yeah, I remember that conversation.
Huge. Callum, where are you? What do you mean? Winter League. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm at home.
I mean,
right. Just for clarity here, he's in the WhatsApp group and the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So he knows, he has access.
So it wasn't as if he wasn't told about it. It was the information was there. You just forget that you actually have to physically speak to him.
There's a phenomenal.
He's very good.
So there's a phenomenal comment in the chat, guys, from Nicky Farrell's better half.
Oh yeah.
Robin Farrell, don't stroke his ego anymore, please. Yeah, sorry, Robin, but he is a phenomenal player, and I think we'd all quite have easily.
It's okay. He'll be too busy doing something else. He wouldn't be watching this.
He won't be watching. He'll be playing Call of Duty, and he's doing really well at that. So he's live streaming.
I bet he's sitting at Rexy's top though, looking great.
Oh, he will be. Right. So, well done, Rexy, guys. That was a phenomenal season, boys.
Good year, good fun.
First league season, right? That's kind of first sort of league and regular games.
first consistent tournament.
No, it would be interesting. What's the overall Rexy's Midnight Runners score? Record, yeah, that's it. Where are you at? You ever worked?
Do you have an overall win percentage?
I've got. So Rex's Midnight Runners are played 45, won 36, lost 7, tied 2 for a win percentage of 77.5%.
I thought I knew you would keep stats. You're a stats man.
I love stats.
I love it.
It's in the bio. The win percentage is in the bio on Instagram at any moment.
Oh wow, wow! Please head over to the Instagram. I love that. Oh, this Robin! I swear to God, he's literally playing COD right now. I knew it. He's practicing. He's been doing really well. I've been watching his live streams and stuff, and it's been awesome.
It's not going to show
background. Yeah.
No.
It's there though, 77.5. Although I had to take off the fact that we were going to King Bowl off it. I was raging.
Oh yeah, that's disappointing.
T's and P's to everyone in over there.
Are we ready for our next video, boys?
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll move on to Top Guns, who successfully won Winter League. Congratulations to Top Guns, phenomenal season. I've been weirdly keeping a close eye on this man's Instagram for no other reason than it pops up every day. He's looking golden, he's looking plush, and he's looking like an incredibly handsome man as well. So we caught with Mr. Julian Holborn White. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Rating.
Hey, thanks for the award. It was a blast playing at Winter League this year, especially with the cast that I had for Top Gun. Probably couldn't have got this without a lot of the guys on defense and offense. So yeah, thanks very much. Looking forward to doing it again next year.
There we go.
Thanks, Jules. Fantastic season from them. As we said, pre-season, number 1 in the power rankings. Pre-season, number 1 at the top of the ladder by the end of it.
Awesome.
Wall-to-wall leaders.
The guys are unreal. You know, the talent across the board is just scary.
I want to see that team go on tour.
Yeah, like Top Guns on tour, they would be scary as well.
It was incredible. They had the one slight hiccup, but even then, just
it was last play of the game. You know, Stephen Cliff called it
well
in
in
the
they're
commentary.
totally over it as well. Like they're totally over it. It never gets brought up on their social media.
Never. I love that. Just someone says one thing and it's just like everyone's like, "Bah!" Good for the banter. So I don't really think there's much to say other than I would have quite liked to see Callum Woods at the last game day. I'd like to see Jules play more QB. You know, he seems very competent, can look after the ball. But playing with guys like Bud, Kev on defense, Liam, Jamie Archibald, Andy Gibson, that's an elite level defense as well, which certainly makes your life on offense easier. I can't even speak more highly of them. I wish I was in their team.
I can keep telling them that they're great, but I think they all know it.
I can't even recruit them. They're too good to recruit.
Really good fun. I really enjoyed the games that we had against them. The first one was a blowout. The second one was a bit more competitive, but they still beat us by 13, 14 or something. But I really liked it, and especially in that short format as well, where like every play is just go like all out. It's just fun to play against. So yeah, congratulations. They were the clear leaders the whole way through, the clear favourites. I think they scored more points than everyone and allowed less points than everyone. So
just about. You guys were close. The points for Top Gun were 407. You guys 404. Close. Defensively, they conceded 121. You guys 146. So not much.
That 20-point difference is probably them.
Probably you won the game. They're awesome group of guys. Pally with a lot of them. So congratulations, guys. Well done. Yeah, good job. And I've just even another little comment from James Duffy. We should have beaten them last game day. Regrets. Unlucky. Got to knock them off.
Next year.
Yeah, I've already beat the Hornets this week, so it's a good week for beating people.
It's a good time to turn people over.
Yeah, just do something virtual with them, James. It's the only way to beat them. Just do it.
Oh, I guess our win percentage will have to change after losing a thriller to the Firebats.
There you go. See, virtual matters.
Do we get the 4 wins in the group matches?
Oh yeah, we top the group.
Take them.
Top the group.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll do some maths.
All right, where are we on? We're moving on to, boys. So I wrote down on our little agenda if there's anything else we want to talk about in regards to any other shocks or surprises in the league. Anything we want to sort of jump out and speak about firstly?
Bez, you want to take
for you boys?
You got anything?
I don't know. I think it all finished kind of fairly, roughly within what we figured. Especially with like the variation in people's rosters of people, and all that kind of stuff. I maybe thought that Newcastle would be a little bit higher, just after they kind of ripped through the NEC Div 1 last year. They were maybe, I think, 1 game away from automatic promotion, or going to the playoff games. So maybe that was a surprise to see them in the bottom 4 at the end of it. But again, I don't know a huge amount about their roster and who they bring, and if that, what was all going on. So to their credit, joining the league at the last minute and driving a couple of hours across the border up the A1 in the wintertime in the dark for willing to do it 5 times, that's a great effort on their part.
I can't speak more highly of the Newcastle guys. I've spoke to like Alan and
yeah, 100%. They were a little bit. Their display was a little bit below what we were expecting, but full credit to them for showing up.
Yeah, last minute as well. It was just like, guys, we're looking for a team. Like, we'll come play. I was like, spot on.
Having had a quick look at the comments, I was going to mention this lot anyway, but the Chargers, West Lothian Chargers, right? Okay, fair enough. They got 2 wins, and they get it right, 2 wins and a tie. But they also 10 of their losses were one score games.
Yep.
Yeah.
That to me was a bit more of a shock than I was expecting, and it shows the progression they've had. They are becoming a competitive side, and they will be in that Division 1, because even I think the most of those 1 point games, only one of them was actually 8 points, which would have required a 2-point conversion. The rest of them were really tight.
Yeah.
I was really quite surprised when I started going through their fixtures and realizing that 10 one-score games, that's it's unfortunate, but with a little bit more progression, unfortunately it seems as if we're not going to get a massive season this year, if at all. But if they were able to keep improving, then they're going to be able to turn some of those into wins.
The future is definitely bright for Charger Watch.
And it's not just their kit.
Not just their kit.
I didn't even bring my mug, boys. I was so disappointed that I just didn't have it ready for my opportune moment for that. Sorry. I'd agree. West Lothian Chargers defensively were phenomenal. Newcastle probably a bit lower than I expected, but I don't care. I love them all the same. Any other shocks or surprises for me? I'd probably say I don't even want to use the word disappointed in the Killer Bees. I know I'm speaking to every single one of them. I think they'll say exactly the same. They're just rotations, numbers, certain issues along the way. So it could be kind of forgiven. We'd probably expect them to. Well, I expect them to be winning a lot more games, being a lot more competitive, and they are. They've got that talent, they've got the ability, and that's why they're in the Premier League. So anyone would be stupid to write them off. So it's probably the only team there that I say, wouldn't have expected them to be so low. But everyone else, I think we pretty much got it spot on. I think.
Yeah. I think maybe within a couple, like maybe flip some teams, but other than that.
Just see if there's anybody else. Anyone else in the chat? I don't know how I look on YouTube.
I know this is one that's kind of close to your home. I think maybe Carnegie being a bit lower, but then when you've got game days where you've got 6 guys and a game days where you've got 60. How many people did you have week 2?
26.
That's outrageous.
Wow.
I think that there's been a lot of honestly a lot of repercussions from that. I think. I think we went from that high numbers, people weren't getting game time, and immediately kind of their mindset changed. So when it rolled to the next week, it's like, I'm not going to get on, I'll not bother coming. So I think that's kind of not really helped the situation. I think that could have been dealt with a little bit better. And I think, unfortunate. But I think you guys just listened to the podcast the other day. We're speaking about James Grubbs playing safety. Got Brandon Lynch coming into the rotation. We're giving these guys an opportunity to play where they never normally play. So we need to see what James can do because we want to improve him as a player. So it's just a one track mind. If you want to go for chieftains or if you want to progress yourself, and then we need to make sure you can play both ways. You understand the game, and that'll obviously help you both ways. So it was used for a lot of stuff like that. To try and help them along. So I'm not surprised in the slightest. I'm not really that bothered, but I can see what you mean.
Yeah, for sure. It's just you look at the, you'd expect pre-season you'd expect the 3 remaining Premier League teams to be high, but like as you say, depending on how everyone uses Winter League, it depends a lot on how things turn up. You're laughing at something, Tree.
I am, yeah. James Duffy, 26 as a result of Tree's aggressive recruitment policy. Thanks, James. I wish that were to be true.
To be honest, Tree, as the theory has been touted before, winter flag trials have probably done well. I'll be interested to see who's on a different roster now that plays for Carnegie in 2021.
It's a scouting report, mate. Just wait till you see it. It is detailed. It's like what, and I was speaking to Richie Moore today. I was like, "So, what's your contract requirements for playing for us abroad?" And I was like, "Done, deal."
Right now, done. It doesn't matter.
Just done. There's no football. I can see what I can do. So, anyone want to play for us, reach out.
Bring your pen because you've got a contract to sign.
Yeah. Well, there's only 2 teams ahead of us in the HNC that we can't beat. So. I need to team up.
Are you still their players then? You've got.
I'll try my best. I've been at Jules for like 3 years now, so it's not working. I need to change my strategy a bit. So James, it's not working. I don't know. I can't seem to recruit him. If anyone has any other techniques they'd like to inform me to try, I'm up for anything.
Need to find some dirt on him.
Oh, I'll do my best. I'll release these. No, I won't.
Oh, the thing, yeah.
So I think that was it.
What's next?
So we'll move on to our MVP category. So it's not really MVP, it's like our stat winners. So we're looking over the stat categories. We'll probably do defense first. We'll then move on to quarterback, and then we'll move on to offense. I've got one video. Unfortunately, Kev Woods is a very hard man to get a hold of. Like Callum Woods, instant. Kev, couldn't get a hold of the man. The man is very secretive. So I don't know if he's got his defensive MVP flags, but well done to Kev Woods on a super defensive performance this year. I'm looking at his stats. I've got them here somewhere. Bez, you've probably got them to hand.
Yes.
Offense, QB.
Stop throwing at Kev.
Yeah. 3 pick 6, 5 interceptions for 38 points.
Yeah.
That's not a bad stat line.
I'll take. You take it.
Hi. So
everyone has.
So I don't have a video for Kev, so unfortunately I can just say congratulations to him. We'll see
your
in the
best
field.
Kev impersonation, except the award tree.
Nah, he's a scary man, Kev. I couldn't make a nicer person. Right, so just if anyone wants to know any other defensive stats, on the review show we did cover just who the top 3 were. So just to remind everybody, that was Kev Woods at number 1. He had 38 points. We had Scott Forbes in 2nd, and Bud was in 3rd. So top 3 were basically, all leading away with like picks and interceptions. The next player along in 4th was our own Bez, Mr. Sachs. He had 1 interception, 9
Give respect
sacks,
to blitzers.
1 tackle
Put
for
some
loss.
respect on that position.
Oh, I can't say much more other than you've deserved it of your fantasy draft position, Bez.
The question I would have for you then, Tree, is besides Bez, who was the next blitzer on the list?
There's no one getting a sack other than me.
I didn't on my top 10 that I've printed off. There's none. If you would like to know that statistical analysis, Greg.
Bez is asking for respect on the blitzer's name. I'm just trying to get.
So let's go defensive sacks, just sacks. Let's go. Number 1 was Besley Berry with 9. Corey Russell had 9 as well, but didn't have an interception, so that would have dropped him down a wee bit. Then we had Paul Ferretti with 7. Inverted for the Top Guns had 5. That's Kaz, I think. And Harry Craig had 3. Everyone else had... no,
Harry's
Chris had
up those
2.
numbers.
Let's go. Let's go. These are my people. These are my people.
It's for the brand, is it, Bez?
Absolutely. It's really, it's easier to intercept the ball if the quarterback's thrown at someone he can't see because we're in your face.
I like how we got the quarterback's perspective there. Bez just really up and close in front of the camera.
Well, to be fair,
I felt all the pressure.
For me, it's normally down here, but with Harry Craig and Kaz, it's all.
They're big boys.
We're big boys.
We're
coming for you. We're coming. We will take your flags.
So we had 2 defensive safeties, Bez. 2.
Yeah.
From 2 Carnegie players. Ryan Robertson had 1 and Barry Moore had 1.
Well guys.
Any defensive extra point returns? There was indeed, 2 of which I believe went to David Hogg of the Outlaws.
Get out.
So 2 defensive. That's what it says in the stats. Stats don't lie. Then Craig Nichol had 1 for Carnegie and Craig Ritchie had 1 for the Renfrewshire Raptors. So we had 4 defensive extra point returns as well for all those stat lovers in the world.
Incredible.
So we'll move on to quarterback. I don't believe you guys have seen this video, and I don't think you are going to see this video from Mr. Scott McDonald. Scott McDonald won our QB MVP race quite comfortably. I think we spoke about it in the review show before, so I won't go over it in too much detail again. I think Bez and Greg will leave me. I don't want that. So let's just let's get to Scott's video. I think I've listened to a little bit of it and just went, great, I add, and then I've not read it either.
So anything you haven't seen the nudity?
I haven't watched it all the way through. I just watched the start and went, right, it's good video quality, it's the right format, add it to the stream.
Oh wow, this I look forward to the comments then.
Oh, Nick Gordon, how can a QB3 win MVP?
Accurate. His receivers bail him out.
Oh, I love it. Right, here we go, boys. Here's Scott McDonald.
Hi guys, just wanted to give a quick thank you to Carnegie Flag Football for running the Winter League again this off-season and allowing Rexes to be part of it, as well as Stuart Anderson for all the hard work that he puts in behind the scenes that no one else sees. One of that is hooking us up with these bad boys. Now obviously I couldn't have done it without my teammates, which you've got the offensive MVP, which is Bez, you've got Greg, you've got Stepani, Callum Young, Drummond, Andy, Heather, Steve Smith Jr., as well as Fraser, Nicky and Richie, who all made their debuts for the Rexes. And I'm sure it's not too long before we get you back in a colourful uniform once again. Maybe next Winter League, King Bowl 2021, anyone? But hopefully I've put enough respect on those names for you boys. But I'd like to say we'll be happy to come back for the next year in order to go one place better and finish hopefully first this time. Thanks guys.
You're muted, Tree.
Yeah, can't hear a word.
Oh, I purposefully had to mute myself there. Do you hear me all right?
I can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. So I may, this is where my pre-preparation has went wrong for the first time. I didn't have us muted, so thank goodness we didn't say anything bad about him.
I could see you giving it the
I was
finger.
like, guys, shoot, I didn't take off our audio. I totally forgot to do that earlier. So James Duffy says, go get a beer. So
it was himself, but yeah, cheers.
Perfect. Oh, Robin Farrell, why did he look so sad? Well, Robin, these guys know him better than I do.
No. It's all an act. Don't trust them.
That's what it says.
You're getting a sympathy vote. Getting a sympathy vote so that people think that he's a good QB again. It's always receivers.
That's it.
In all seriousness, congratulations to Scott. You managed to throw the ball to us enough times to score many points. So
61 touchdowns. Quite a tremendous amount of touchdowns.
Well, yeah. It's just nice. It's just nice to catch balls from him. It's been a year where we haven't. So
We could take him back to normal.
Yeah, I suppose I shouldn't be too harsh. He's on my fantasy team, so keep it up, Scott. Less interceptions.
So that's exactly it. In regards to interceptions, he only threw 6 interceptions. Only gave up 6 sacks. So in regards to the other stats that we have written down, it's pretty good. It's hard to compare to other quarterbacks. The only one I could probably compare him to that played the same amount of games would probably be guys like maybe Jules, Ben Wilson, Liam, and Scott McKenzie are probably the ones that have been, behind the centre more frequently as what Scott has been. Jules had 47 touchdowns, registered 2 sacks, 12 interceptions, which a lot of those interceptions might not be him. What I've said to you guys before is on the stats.
For a guy that doesn't play quarterback.
Even that's good. The problem is they do a lot of option play stuff. So if Josie were to throw the ball to, I don't know, Callum Woods, for example, or something like that, and on the stat sheet it's written as an interception, I don't know who threw it. So I've just got to go with the premise that I think it's Jules because he primarily or predominantly plays.
Throwing shade at Callum Woods there, suggesting he just throws picks. That was uncalled. You don't have to do that, Callum.
He's in my fantasy team.
Ruthless aggression from Tree.
Hey, I didn't even mean it. I said you better dig me in. How can I get my ladder and climb out this hole?
Just keep digging.
That's all right.
Get out the other side.
That's all right. Thanks, boys.
You deserve that.
Who else do we have? So Ben Wilson was 3rd. Then we had Liam Clutterbuck 4th. Scooter McKenzie 5th. Then we had Lee Fraser, Andy Brown, Jamie Bennett, Fraser Thompson.
It wasn't for us, but well done.
Yeah, he's in there. I think he only played one game day maybe as QB.
Maybe 2. He had the one game day as a QB, did he not? And then
he played us as QB the first time we played the Colts.
Yeah.
So definitely there's a lot of sort of QBs in there. If you look at the stats or look at the numbers, you can see that obviously Scott's like 61, then probably down to Liam Clutterbuck's 41. That's your regular QBs most of the time, and after that the number drops off quite considerably for the rest of the guys. So with rotations, I know Scooter was hurt for one of our game days. Lee Fraser for Newcastle swapped it up a few times. I've seen Youngie in there, a few other guys. So did a lot of rotation. So the QB one was probably for me the most difficult one, purely because like Scott's most consistent. Jules throws a lot more option passes, and the defense is scoring them points. So, it was an interesting category to watch, but I think Scotty pretty much had it summed up after week 3, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a decent lead at week 3, wasn't there?
Yeah. And then our other category, let's move swiftly on, is our offensive MVP, of which we do not require a video because the man's in the room. Besley Berry. Again.
That's my name.
League MVP. Offensive.
Yeah, that's up there as well, by the way.
Oh yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Get up there.
Winter League offensive MVP, Bez. Winter League 3 overall MVP, Bez.
Handsome man,
Bez.
Goes on everyone's.
That's it. Yours is growing. Honestly, I can't wait to add. Oh, where am I? Over here. Beat the Hornets in a virtual game for King Bowl. I'm adding it. I don't care what people say. Like, if I'm going to beat them and only ever beat them once, I'm taking it.
It should just be unbeaten versus Hornets in 2020.
That's it. Done. I can't wait for like Nicky Farrell and Jules and all that to comment on the side. I don't care.
I just hope you haven't actually played them in Ironman or anything like that, so that stat can actually stand.
Oh no, we did. Oh, they absolutely pumped us at Flag in Ironman. Oh well. We're 1-1.
Hey, take it.
500.
It's 500. I'll take that.
Take it. It's the first time you've been above 0% in ever. So
forever. Yeah, I honestly can't remember even before I played whether Carnegie ever beat the Hornets pre me. I don't think so. So I'm taking it. Anyways, let's move swiftly on. Can I keep talking about it because I'm so proud of it? Offensive MVP. So yeah, well done, Bez. 23 offensive touchdowns, 6 XP1s and 2 XP2s with 148 points. Well done, Bez. spoke about
Thank you very
before.
much.
Excellent job, man.
Thank you to Callum and Gus for not showing up on the last day. That made a big difference, I think.
It certainly helped. Because looking at the numbers, discounting your fabulous last day, between second, which is Callum Woods with 103 points, and Gus, at 5th, had 96 points. It's pretty much a one score.
Well, going into the last,
Great,
we did this on the review show. I think going into the last day, it was Callum leading on 103 and me in second on 102, and then maybe like Gus not that far behind on 96, obviously, because he didn't play. So I can read it. So
Well done, Bez.
Well done,
Yeah.
Bez. So let's have a look at the stat. What other stats?
all
have we
right,
got we can
all
look
right,
at?
just make Greg do some math to see how that goes.
All about the math. I love it. So, offensive extra points, who got the most? I think we spoke about this. It was one of the Raptors, I'm sure. Yeah, Grant Fraser had the most extra points in the league with 8. Tied with only Besley Berry with 8. You had 6 extra point ones, but 2 extra point twos. So you two
Yeah,
boys
we
were
always
tied
started
with the
over
most.
the last day as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went a bit daft in the
So in
final.
regards
day.
to actual,
I don't know what it was, but for whatever reason, Rex's Midnight Runners cannot convert an extra point from the 5-yard line.
wow.
Honestly, we will do well to never get an extra point shootout, because if that happens, we're going to have to ask if we can go for 2 every time.
Let's do it. I think I've only ever had one extra point shootout, and it was against. I wasn't the. It was the Comets at Flag and Ironman, where it was like Neely, Chris Lang,
Okay.
I think Saskia maybe. I think it's the only time I've ever been involved with one.
We had one at King Bowl 2018, and it went 5 rounds.
Wow.
It was
It was 5 rounds in the piss and rain. It's amazing.
I was a hell of a game as well.
That's one of my favorite games I've ever played.
Still salty over that disallowed touchdown.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Offensive touchdowns. What do you think, guys? How many players in the league scored an offensive touchdown in Winter League 3?
100.
You think so?
I'm going to go at least 130.
Consider, in other words, how many got MVP? 51 people
51.
had an MVP vote.
Yeah.
So in regards to people scoring touchdowns,
you're going to say that there's at least, 10, if everyone's playing 18.
for the
10.
names I've got in rosters, I've got 176 people from rosters.
Pardon?
142.
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
176.
What games or people?
People.
How many games?
I don't know how many total games was played. No idea. Is it 18 games?
Every team played 18 games.
Yeah.
Any guess? We've got. Let's have a look at the chat.
I'm
Any
gonna
guesses
go
to
with
how many people?
154.
I'm saying
154.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greg, Bez?
I started at 100, but I'm going to push up to. So, what did you go? 154.
Yeah.
Out of
That's
170 people, that's high.
I'm going to go 128.
After him
Remember, there's 176 people in the league.
Yeah.
And you're saying 150, like 80% of people scored touchdowns.
At least one. Yeah.
Right. Oh, got Andy Brown, 136. He's saying. Oh,
This is where you tell us.
Bang in the middle.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it was only 4.
Oh. James,
So if it's 176, did you say is in the league?
176 is the total amount of people I've got as like rosters in the league.
Well, that's 176 people then.
So yeah, I think Bez is probably going to be closer. I'm standing by. I'm doubling down. Yeah, everyone scored a touchdown.
Perfect.
Really?
So
For
got a
fun.
few guys chipping in. We've got James Duffy 85, Nick Gordon 129, Scott Forbes 111.
If I'm going for 128, you can't pick 100.
Liam Dixon 99. So there's a few guys chipping in. Well, in fact, the actual number, and there is someone that's only 5 away. I can't count. What did they say?
That'll be me and Nick.
4 away. 89.
89.
89 people had a touchdown in the league this year.
I blame that on the quarterbacks. They've got to spread the love.
So James Duffy.
That's
Well
Bez's fault. Bez's fault for hogging all the time.
He's hogging them all.
He done it for charity, so we can't actually.
I genuinely think that since I started doing my fundraising, that defenses have been soft.
Never.
People want me to self-bankrupt.
Did you hear about did John Guthrie speak to you about our second half potential Rexy game if we were to play at Flag and Ironman, or was it Oilcats? Can't remember. We were just gonna let you score the entire second half, like just catch the ball, run, just.
I just started batting the ball.
Yeah, just make sure everyone else can just
every play, just dig it.
It's like, are we getting beat? Aye, just let Beth score. Doesn't matter. It's all about charity.
Aye, well, John's playing along, so it would have sucked for him too.
Oh, aye. Alright, let's have a wee look. I don't think there's any other stats we want to yap on about. So well done to our stat winners then. So Kev Woods, Scott McDonald, and Mr. Besley Berry. Well done, guys. So where are we now? So we basically, I think it's all-star guys now. So our selections, basically outside of stats, who we thought were sort of noteworthy of receiving a sort of good for you. I've got some pictures, so I'm going to start off with the first one because he's in the chat with us. So we've got Julian Holborn-White. He was our selection as a QB All-Star. Definitely noteworthy. Well done, Jules. He's got his flags. You can see in the stream. He's looking incredibly handsome in his back garden.
Right, Scott McDonald. No, not Scott Forbes.
Forbes, yeah. That's it.
Aye.
The questionable photo.
We're going to have a word.
This lockdown is not going well for him.
When was the last time that the hair on Scott's head was as long as the hair that's currently on his chin?
I'm sure someone with Photoshop, I'm looking at Jamie Archibald, could flip that round. Come on, Jamie. Make it happen. Make it rain for us. Liam Dixon, still overrated, Greg. Brilliant. And then Greg Sim, other All-Star as well. So well done. Like I totally deserving. The guys were all. Scott was second in defense. Greg, you were everywhere. Offense, defense, MVPs. So definitely the three guys that got the All-Star picks from us. I think from the first picture, totally deserving. I can't say any more apart from what we already say. So well done, guys.
Glad to see that you've hung your poster up as well, Greg. It's good.
Yeah, I thought you might appreciate that.
Yeah. And then we'll move on to our second. I couldn't fit them all on one page, but the next two are Stephen Cliff and Paul Johnston. Again, equally as deserving. I was a wee bit worried. I had to Photoshop Paul's flags in the other day because they hadn't arrived after almost a week of sending them to him.
Oh no.
So I had to Photoshop them in, and then literally, I can't remember if it was the day after or the afternoon. He's like, "Oh, tree, they've came." I'm like, "Perfect. Send me the picture." So Paul's in there as well. Again, absolute MVP kind of performance over the space of this year. Obviously, right up to the final game, he was joint MVP. So hats off to the lads. He's a sort of at least a really good caliber player that's really going to help them this season. I say this season. Whenever the Raptors play a game, he will be there and he will be being effective.
He will be.
Yeah. So
I must admit, I didn't actually have a huge sort of knowledge about him before Winter League. I've not watched a huge amount of Raptors games. Pure laziness, really, for not getting down to the Division 1 games. Beth's shaking his head because he knows Division 1 is electric.
Best division in football.
Yeah, there we go.
Anything can happen.
But yeah, having seen him play, be very, very, very good player, very fun to watch. Gonna have to take a trip and watch a few more of these Division 1 games.
I think so. Paul's some of his route running is on point. He's I don't want to call him long and gangly, but he's a thin lad. He's got big arms. He's got good hands. He catches a lot of passes. He's going to be good for them in the future. Definitely Chieftains worthy as well in the future too. I think.
I'm gonna throw some love out to Stephen right here.
Just about to get to him. Yeah, lead the way.
Because beginning of Winter League, if you'd said Stephen Cliff by the end of it will be on the 5-man All-Star list, I don't think anyone would have gone, you know what, yes, slam dunk. And then look at him. Right, he's got his flags. It said All-Star on them. And he was brilliant. 13 touchdowns, 5 extra points, a two-pointer as well.
No, what's also worth noting for Stephen, his commentary is on point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, when you will listen to it back, it's just phenomenal. So Steve's always welcome back on the commentary booth if we ever do it again. If we do commentary for next season.
He's going to get a phone call from my podcast.
He's going to be part of our little of our content team next season. It's like, Steve, you have skills, mate. And we're going to utilise those.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, congratulations, Steve and Paul, and well, all 4 of you, plus Greg. That makes 5. Maths. Quick maths.
Let's come back to us. Let's put us back on the stream. There we go. Back to us.
You had your reprieve.
Aye. Basically, aye. I think we've got away from us for a second, so we look sharp again. Okay. So the next one's a bit controversial because obviously I've not really spoken to anybody about it. Is our Pick'em League, but I have spoken. Yeah, I have spoken to, like, don't get me wrong, I've not spoken to any of you guys about it. I've spoken to the non-league affiliate members to try and work out what would be the fairest. I've got to think of everybody. Obviously, a lot of people have went through the 4 weeks of action, picking like who they thought would be winners. So to end on a game of like rock, paper, scissors and stuff, I didn't really think it would be fair on everybody else that that's the way it ended. So I think the fairest way was to say, well, congratulations to our joint winners, and we'll just split it 3 ways, which is £33 and 33 pence each. Whoa. So I'll round that up. I've got a wee bit of sort of leftover cash. I've got to refund all the teams. I'll be doing that Monday. I've got to sort all the finances out and get that sorted. So I'll round that up for you boys as well. So it'll be like 35 quid each or something. So that's what Bez, Scott.
I've just seen James's comment.
It's good. And the thing is, that was 1 week where how many got it right that 1 week? 8?
Oh, it was like 8 people or something.
Like 8 people. James Duffy, you message me your email address and I will PayPal you £1.66 on this call right now. You send me an email and a direct message and I'll sort you out, mate.
Amazing.
So Pick'ems, I thought it was really good this year. At times, I was the only person that really knew the winners till the review shows. So anyone who's watched the review shows will see what our reactions are like. And the first week was the best. Like, the first week was superb. Like, to see Greg be so elated and then immediately deflated, I was like, sorry, Greg.
Watching Greg celebrate and then just immediately be crushed by the other half of the Latte Boys was the highlight.
The thing is, I seen it coming as well, because as soon as I started celebrating, I could see it in tree, and I just went, oh no, I've went too soon. I'd celebrated too soon, and I was devastated.
Oh yeah, and then I gave Tom no end of stick in week 4 as well. Like, I was doing them like live in week 4, so I can at least got to the end. I can tell you who won overall. So I basically said to Tom, "You're up, mate. You're winning." Oh, you've just lost 2 in a row. Oh, yeah, you're not getting the top. And his face was a picture the whole time. It was good. So I like Pick'ems. Nick Gordon. I think Cam is still due his £5. I think I gave it to him on week 4, Nick. I threw it to him off the rafters. I'm almost sure I gave it to him. If not, I've got my folders down here. I've not had a chance to check it. I think there is a £5 still in there. And the £10 for all the £1.66 winners is still in there as well. So, so Pick'ems. So it's Scott McDonald. Who was it? Scott McDonald, Bez, and Tom. Yeah, perfect. I'll ping a message to you guys.
Poor showing from Mr. Sim, to be honest.
What was that? Sorry.
I said it's a poor showing from you. I expected better.
The
fact that like two podcast analysts were in the top, and you failed miserably.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think I was only 2 or 3 behind, and I started taking chances. You've got to be bold.
Got to be accurate. Which is why it's weird that Scott's up there.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. If you're going to do a pick 'em league, you've got to be accurate.
True. Right. What's next on the agenda, Mr. Anderson?
I'll be honest, I was actually looking at some King Bowl stats while you guys were talking and checking out some comment. I don't know, I was just checking. So I was just going to say, if anyone's due any money from the Pick'ems, just DM me directly and I'll ping it over to you either tomorrow or Monday. If you guys are, I've not got it yet, it's like, well, message me and I'll send it to you.
Sliding into those DMs.
Slide into those DMs. We're all friends. You know, I'll even add some commission on it as well if they like. Right, so in fact, yeah, Bez, to answer your question,
Winter League 4, mate.
I will get to there. I'm looking for if we're still leading.
All right, yeah.
I don't know. I can't see it. If I search
Just
for it.
follow Scott McDonald's link because that'll take you to an old one.
Oh yeah, it took you to the wrong one, didn't it?
There's his accuracy again, Bez.
Women's, men's. Whoa, boys! Carnegie's not winning.
Right.
So,
you have to watch our faces, but once this is over.
Yeah, so Monkey's Attitude are currently at 598 votes. Carnegie Flag Football 574.
Oh my word!
And there's only an hour. There's only an hour left.
Mate, just accuse them of setting up fake accounts.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how you win. That's how you win. Fake accounts. Honestly, if the Barbarians go on to win it, they're getting an asterisk.
Oh, I think they didn't get put.
Oh, they got punted.
Oh, because they were right. So who beat the Barbarians?
Team Mojito.
After taking away the Barbarians' points, right? Team Mojito will go on to win. Big asterisks. Big asterisks. Not having that. Just because someone cheats better than you do doesn't mean that you should win. If you haven't got a bot swarm saved up, then you are wasting my time.
I'm just hoping. Well, I kind of half hope. Sorry, Trey, but the Firebats go on and win it, so that way we can say we unfortunately got beat by the corporate beast.
Yeah, you could do. Like, I was just literally just sharing the post again. You know, halfway through the stream. You know, there's things to win. We don't win much, so let's go win. I can't believe how many votes this semi-finals went on to get. Like, that's almost 600 votes for both teams. That's ridiculous.
Considering that the first round winners were on like we got, what did we get, 98 in the first round or something, and that put us top of the group. And then against the Firebats, we were almost 300.
Yeah, I know.
It's like 270 or something, or 250, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So yeah, whatever. We'll see.
It's been great watching it.
It shows you how engaged it is. But
oh yeah,
I hope that they're keeping track of like the total cast votes.
Yeah, how many has there been?
Like at the very, very end, you can say like for every team through the groups the whole way, this is how many.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Just see how many people are actually engaging with it.
Yeah. We'll move on then, guys. Let's continue with our Winter League and then we'll get off because it's been about an hour. So not much left now. So let's just fire up the next bit of good news is dates for next season.
Woo!
So this is probably a bit. What's the point of the word to use? We can't obviously say that it's going to go ahead just yet because there's a lot of things can go on in the meantime. Before we get the nod from, say, BAFA, we get the nod from the Oriam, we get the nod from the government to be able to actually start playing again. However, the Oriam reached out to me Monday of last week to say, look, I think it was Monday, I can't remember. No, it's Thursday because we done our call on Wednesday and then we done this on Thursday and I got the email the day after. So the Oriam have basically said, look, these are the dates. We've held them for you. Here's your booking confirmation. Please sign and return it. So I have these dates now confirmed. Whether we're allowed to play or not is a different story. So our dates for next season are going to be week 1 is going to be November 1st, which, looking at the dates of the diary, that's going to be a Halloween special. So we're going to do something Halloween related.
Lovely.
So that was the plan for that.
10 o'clock in the morning after. Right, Halloween this year is what, like a Saturday? It's a Saturday. It's a full moon as well. People be mental, Tree.
That's the idea. So it's going to be, I don't know what we're going to do for it, but it'll be some sort of Halloween special for that one. Then we've got our December the 6th for week 2. I don't have a theme for that one just yet. That might just be us, just play like normal humans for a change. see who's survived the coronavirus and Halloween. That's 5 till 8:30. Week 3 will be our Christmas special. I don't know what we're going to do for that, whether it's going to be Santa suits, reindeers, tinsel. We'll go for something to make it a wee bit more interesting. So that's December 20th, 10:30 till 2. We have a Hog Mini special, which I was not 100% sure. Not a Hog Mini special, sort of January 31st.
Yeah, I think Bruni's gone a bit confused as to
I looked at it, I was like, Hog Mini, I was like, 31st, have I done this wrong?
I was kind of looking at it being like, he's got that massively wrong.
I'm like, no, it's not a Hog Mini special.
31st of January. You should have sobered up by then, Bruni.
31st of January. So we're at the end of the month. These were the 2 difficult dates. We had to avoid flagging New Year. We had to avoid flagging Ironman. And I also had to avoid another tournament at the Orium for flag football, which still hasn't been announced yet. Nothing to do with me. I just know about it because I had to know about it. So we've got January 31st, and then our finals weekend is going to be on February 28th. So a lot earlier than this season. This season was meant to end at March 28th, which was quite late. It basically would have rolled off quite nice to the season, and it was arguably a bit too close for the start of the season. I would like to have maybe some other friendlies in there, and it didn't really work out. Obviously, it didn't work out at all for anyone this season, but it doesn't matter. So those are the dates for next year, for us all to hopefully get excited about and get some football, maybe.
Absolutely, really looking forward to it. Just a quick question: are you looking at similar format, or have we not got any idea as to how that's going to go?
I've been thinking about it, and that's why I'd use the chat to our advantage tonight, and I'd use you guys. So based upon initial sort of thoughts of what we want to do, and looking around the country, like Outlaw Flag League and what they've done, and we did try different rules. I think in year 1 of Winter League, we did try a 3xp. Or we tried all that sorts of things. It did kind of work. It was good fun. You got an extra point for an interception, because interceptions, makes you look after the ball. If you're obviously giving the ball to the other team, it's not good. So I wasn't giving up points.
Does that mean Jules would have basically scored a touchdown against you?
Pretty much, yeah. So there were different. So I was been looking around, and we've tried it before. So I wasn't too sure in regards to rules whether we'd change too much. We use it really well for BAFA preparation. It gives us the best chance to develop and get better. Outside of the BAFA league, and it keeps the refereeing development on point as well. So at least you're not having to think about it. It's all the samey. So I definitely think we've got a format that kind of works for us. It's the things that are probably different are things like live streaming and commentary, the graphics, the video content, the bits around the edge to kind of make it a bit more engaging for everybody. I've got a lot of ideas for that, which I don't mind sharing either. It's been kind of in the works for a wee while. I've been testing it out. Is the ability to have either 2 fields live streaming at the same time. We could maybe do that. We could have field 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. We could do that.
Press the red button for alternative commentary.
Yeah, I've been toying with the idea of doing sideline. So during the live stream, what we have the ability to do is to change the camera to a camera on the field. So if there's an extra point play, or someone's running up the sideline, I could jump across quickly to the camera on the sideline. I've tested that out this season, and it works an absolute treat. It's just difficult for me to, on the transitions using the software, is to basically just change it from camera 1 to camera 2. And there's this, I've been speaking to guys, probably Andy Keith is probably the man for this. You got a little stream deck thing from Elgato, and you basically just tap a button and it changes the scene to the different camera. So I've been thinking about purchasing that as my little buy for next year, to maybe give us something like that. So those are the 2 things I've been thinking about camera wise to change. In regards to teams, I know of at least 2 teams that would wish to come into the league. No, there's going to be one. There's going to be 2 teams. One of them will be given to me in confidence, and one of them I don't know yet. I need to speak to them, but they did show interest. So I think the league could potentially be up to 12 teams.
Right. Yeah, that would be so good.
You reckon?
I hope so.
Oh, if it is, I'd love it.
We'll speak about that after then, boys. So I think the teams may increase to 12. That's obviously on the premise that all 10 teams that are playing this year are keen to play next season again, which I think in the chat, most of them basically reached out and said aye. Obviously, I'm not looking out for confirmation of teams yet. I don't see any point in doing that until I get the nod from BAFA that it's even going to go ahead. Obviously, all 10 teams in the league will get priority over anyone anyway. They were all stellar. I've had no bad feedback from anyone. Everyone knows what's expected of them. So I'm happy to invite every single one of them back. So you are now all formally invited to come back again. So, I think that's it. Other things I was going to drop into the chat is if anyone had any other ideas about, little things that could make it better. I've seen a few pop in, like need some action replays. If someone can show me how to do that, great. I have no idea how to do that. So Nick Gordon, if you know how to do it, I'll speak to Andy Keith. I'm sure he can tell me. James Duffy, multiple drone cams. Unfortunately, the drones we can't do indoors during gameplay because of safety concerns. I've asked this question. We had an issue last year where we had a player put one up. He did get permission from one person, but we hadn't signed the appropriate RAMS forms and safety forms to agree for that. So it was a bit, we might be able to, but maybe worth looking into.
Lots of work.
It's a lot. It's quite expensive as well. If you get like one of the Mavic Pro 2s or something like that with the 4K capabilities, they're incredible, but you're talking big bucks. Yeah, but I'm not made of money.
I don't know what those words mean. So
yeah, just nod and agree. It's great. Reverse angles. Far away end zones. That's particularly the reason why we want to go dual camera for a game. So I'm not going to record every single game. I might, and if someone can convince me otherwise, and if anyone wants to take on recording all other 3 fields, uploading it to our YouTube channel and making it available for everybody to watch back as a development tool, go for it. The issue that I had was it was taking about 5 hours per field to crop, edit, process, upload. It was just so time consuming. So if we've got anyone who wants to take that on board for the multiple fields, great. But in regards to one field that we want to focus on a per week basis, yeah, we could probably do reverse angles. I've been working on the technology to do it. It works. I don't see any reason why not. More teams from Stephen Cliff. Yeah, 12. I need to work on a format though. The most teams I could go up to, which I tested, was 14. Similar format what we're doing now, play everyone twice. That's the most I could go up to in the allotted time. I couldn't squeeze any more in than that. I've booked the exact, well, not the exact same, but similar hours for next season. It just, unfortunately, it's too costly. The benefit of going to more teams though is you get more income to help cover the cost of the venue. The venue costs, if anyone knows, the venue costs are probably the most expensive in the country. It's not the cheapest of places. It'd probably be more affordable for us to go to Aberdeen Sports Village or Ravenscraig, Tory Glen. I even thought about one of the propositions that we had was, can we have a different game day at a different venue? So you have 4 different game days and 4 different venues. And then our finals is played at a central, well, not a central venue, but played back at the Orion, for example. That would keep costs down because it would be cheaper to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
But again, you're thinking about Newcastle driving all the way up to Aberdeen, and Aberdeen, potentially driving all the way down to if Newcastle have got a facility potentially, something like that. Or so that I like the Orion. I think everyone, even in a poll on the BAFA page, would basically spoke volumes of the Orion. Yeah, it's phenomenal. And the Wi-Fi for the live streaming is better than what I've got at home.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you were to try and go to different venues, then you've got that hurdle to try and overcome as well in terms of live streaming as well. So having the one venue, everyone knows where they're to try and get to. It's fairly central. You're cutting the travel time for ourselves and Newcastle.
Yeah.
Much as it would be nice to have
I've just popped it back across in James's comments. Stick your faces back up. I've got you. Worth it though, great venue. Would love us sleeping on a game day. Sorry, Nick, it's not going to happen. You stay in Aberdeen, pal. You come down to my house the night before. You have pre-game cocktails at my house.
There you go. That's your second bonus.
Not to call anyone out, but like it's not exactly like Nick's at home being well rested the night before a game day anyway. So you know.
Yeah, so if anyone's got any other suggestions, for sure reach out. You know, we do this for the benefit of ourselves. I gain nothing from it either, just a little bit of exposure for my business, for the technology side of things and the use of like the apps and the stats capture. You know, it helps me out a little bit. People ask, you know, an interest in what I do as a job, but it's mainly for everybody else. So if there's things that we could be doing better, if there's things that we can improve upon, that we're all friends at the end of the day. That's the great thing about the HNC and everyone that plays in it, and we'll just, you know, adopt Newcastle now. We're all friends. So if there's anything we could be doing better,
Berwick Blackhawks.
Berwick Blackhawks, let's get them in. So yeah, just let us know what you've got to say. Have you guys got anything and you think you guys would throw a curveball in the league? What would you guys maybe do differently, like a rule change, or you know, a change in field size or something?
We talked about rule changes the other day.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's happening. That was good.
There is a podcast that will come out.
Oh, okay.
On Monday
I'll listen to that then. I'll wait and I'll see what we've got to come up with.
Where we discuss rule changes, not necessarily for Winter League, but just like, yeah, for those that listen, you know, like they know that we're doing questions from the audience, so people can send in and give us talking points.
Oh yeah.
So some of the talking points we got in, there was a couple of wild ones, and there was a couple that were kind of vaguely down that road. So we explore that road, we walk down the path, and just follow our noses. It's a dangerous business going out your door, but we do. So
basically, I mean, there's a couple of things, but I mean, there would be more experimenting, really.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I mean, as you say, the format that you've got with the time frame that you've got to play the games.
That's the hardest part, is the time
especially when
frame.
you're talking about developmental sort of league. For people who get the opportunity to ref more games, trying to keep it as close to whether it be tournaments or the BAFA sort of format, I think is actually probably the best way of kind of keeping it that way.
James Duffy dropping bombs in the comments.
I love James Duffy. He can come in with comments more often. I don't know if you've seen it, Greg. Previous year's reverse handicaps. So the Chargers start at 0 and the Top Guns start at -10.
Like every game, or
it could be every game. Is that the first set of game day, and then we just alternate it up?
Brutal.
Or we do the handicaps pre-game day. Like, but instead of doing a pick'ems league, we actually do it for the whole league.
You actually just handicap every game and see what happens.
Yeah. I just got right.
I suppose you get it right if every game's a tie, right? That means you're good at it.
True.
Oh no, because it's 0.5 in it, so there would always be
0.5. There would always be a winner, but it would be a close winner. Andy Brown's one. Ooh.
That rule suggestion from Andy Brown is from a man who I've got no idea, but is probably getting flagged for cleaning people out, and then it's like, no, I didn't touch him. You should discuss playing defense with William Dixon.
Nick Gordon, throw better passes, Brownie. Nick, stop being thinking about food. Andy is not food. Tom Clark.
Let's not dive too far into the comments because we'll be on here.
So we'll do a couple more. I think I've got Tom Clark. I don't mind listening to Tom sometimes. Is there any chance that Winter League links up? No. League points is what I meant. Oh, league points, James Duffy. I suppose you could start with like a handicap system on the points, yeah. And we'd maybe have a little look at it this year, run a sort of simulation with this year and see how it would have ended up at the end if we'd done that, maybe. Have a wee look. But no, Tom. I think that was it. If anyone wants to sort of reach out with other comments afterwards, just DM me directly, Bez, Greg. We all speak to each other, so just ask.
You guys definitely had the chance to link up with BAFA for Clark Anderson 2020.
When we're running the show, then we'll think about it. But right now, you're all right. Although I did have an interesting conversation with a BAFA committee member last night, which was interesting.
Oh no, damn it, the podcast's not out yet. I'm assuming you mean the most powerful HNC official in the land.
Is he from Aberdeen?
No, newly elected.
Oh, right, newly elected. Yeah. You missed it in the quiz last night, Bess. That's this one.
Oh, I got in the second half. I was lurking in a group chat for a team that were terrible at quizzes.
Oh, Tom's just messaged me directly now. Oh, this is serious.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
Yeah, it's all about my potential transfer north of the border.
He's like a puppy. He's just gonna.
What border tree?
Oh, the Aberdonian one.
No, sorry, I forgot we've got a border around us.
Ah, you do, aye. Right.
It's actually that we built a fence around Fife to keep them in, but we don't have...
we've ripped it down, didn't we? We've not been here in a while. Right, so I think that's basically it. I just probably a few thank yous and closing statements for everyone probably, and then we'll get the highlights on the go for everybody. We'll watch those. So yeah, just first of all, I'd want to say thanks to you guys. Obviously, Bez, Greg, this year to have more help and do the comms and stuff and all the content. I couldn't be more appreciative of your time, guys. So thank you. I love it.
I mean, it was literally the least I could have done.
Yeah,
it's just
you're there. You're here in person again. I love it. Like it's hard to get people to come and help. So
any thanks you give to me, it has to be put straight back to you. All the effort you've put in, it's been absolutely first rate. You mentioned the time that you put in early doors and that behind the scenes, sort of 5 hours per field when you're filming each one. That's not that people get to see, and it's all things you do in your own time as well. So I mean,
yeah,
I speak on behalf of everyone involved, but a massive thank you to you.
Thanks, guys.
The real MVP.
Buy yourself some MVP flags.
Hey, I got to give it. It's like Rudy's like, you want a jersey? I was like, yeah, I'll have a jersey. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. The review show is so much fun to do. Like all the graphics, the overlays, the footage, even having the top 10 highlight reels at the end. Even I got stick every single time for doing it. It was really good fun. So.
The only thing I can ever take from the review show is Bez going ooh with his
the reactions. I will love it.
That blooper reel. The only thing that was missing from the blooper reel was week 1, where Scott McDonald was incapable of pronouncing a name.
Oh yeah, I've still got all the blooper reels. Like I have every single review show. I've been so tempted to go back and take everything.
Please do.
Put it together. I think I've got a lot of plays as well that I could go back and add in. So if I've got some spare time, I'll probably chuck it together. See what I can do.
I can't even remember who it was that he just stumbled over and over and over, but it was...
No, I can't remember.
I can't remember it.
We'll go have a look.
It was just magic.
I had a few other names written down as well, guys. We had Scott McDonald join us a few times as well on the review show. So again, thanks for Scott for hanging by. It's mainly for you guys. Like again, I know you guys are quite prominent in sort of helping with the league, but you guys have got a long drive to Aberdeen afterwards as well. A lot of people like to just get home afterwards, and you guys stick around. So again, that's probably why it means a wee bit more to me for you guys to do that. So Scott as well.
I'll probably just chuck out a thank you to the guys that share a car journey home with us. So they know that we're going to stay, and they're not on the camera or anything like that, but they go sit in the cafe or they stand behind the camera and laugh at us.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
those guys, I think it's been Tom and Aaron and Andy, and Steve. I think have all sat behind the camera and waited. Heather and Richie have done the same thing for Scott going back to Glasgow. So we're glad that happens. Thank you very much.
Definitely. All the commentators as well. So we had a few guys from pretty much, I think every team pretty much came up and helped us, for your Andy Gibsons to your Archibalds to Paul Johnston and the Raptors guys, Neil Warren. So everyone that came up to even do that, great. I mean, even I could play a couple of games, so it's greatly appreciated. Guys like John Guthrie and Ross Dawkins for running the fields. Without them sort of pushing people in the right places, we wouldn't get things done as quickly as possible. Stuart McEwen as well, he helped us out one week quite massively as well. So thanks to Stuart. Little shout out to my little helpers, Jules and Michelle's daughter Eva. She was great putting all the score sheets in and bringing them up to me for a couple of weeks that she was there with me. So thanks, Eva, for helping us out. And then probably our sponsors, the guys that helped us out is Steve Smith Photography. So we all know Steve Smith from the Kings and from Flag at Carnegie. He walks around, takes pictures of everybody. We all appreciate a good picture of us looking very handsome playing football. He's also got the video footage, so we'll play the highlights just in a minute. He put this together quite controversially for us internally. You'll see why when we get that far. But there's some Rexy in there, boys. Some Rexy in it this time.
Yeah, about bloody time.
Don't get me cropping it. So big thanks to Steve for doing that for us again. Much appreciated. I love the content he produces, so thank you. Noola MVP jersey. If you still got it there, Bez, I've got mine as well. Best kit in the game. Oh, you can't see it. There we go. I'll turn it around.
There you go.
There we go. Sponsors on the back as well. So
for all your custom sportswear needs.
Yeah, although Bez did say in his little VT that stands your photography, I'll take it. It says technology, but I'll be a photographer for you. I'm your photographer personally, so.
Oh, yeah.
So Noola, then we've got My Flags. So this is a wee shout out to Jules if he's still watching. So the winning team for the league got given a £100 voucher to spend with My Flags. They can spend it on wherever they want, whether that's custom flags, poppers, belts, whatever gear they've got. I'll speak to Jules directly about that, but there's a £100 voucher to be used with My Flags. So thanks to My Flags for helping us out with some of that. Their logos are all below here. Who else? Orium, the guys at Bookings, thank you very much. And everyone else at Carnegie, basically, that gave us a helping hand. I greatly appreciate it, and I can't thank you enough. So thanks to everyone for this year's Winter League. It's probably been my favourite one to do so far. Yes, I've not played, but I honestly don't care. People ask me all the time, do you miss playing? No, really. We could create some content. We create a lot of interest for our sport. And if we can just share a wee bit of content and each team gets more opportunity to play players, play football and recruit, we're doing our job. So hopefully we can keep it going and see what we can do for the next one.
Yeah, sure.
Anything from you guys? Anything you want to add to the end? I know it's probably the last time we'll see each other in video format for a while.
I'm quite happy with what we've covered today.
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's really just like the final word would be a thank you to yourself. It all comes from you. We're just here for the ride. So thank you very much, and I guess roll the footage.
I will indeed. So thanks everyone. Stay safe. We'll see you all soon, and let's look forward to some flag football in the future. I think we've got about 4.5 minutes worth of highlights. So enjoy, guys.
Highlights.